It sets you aside, it sets you apart to be unique and to do something that people aren't going to expect. Making that phone call, sending a note or a letter. People aren't going to expect that because it's really not done as much anymore. Hello everyone, welcome back to Poise with Purpose Co. And welcome to Poise with Purpose Co. if you are new here. My name is Andrea. I am the founder and creator behind Poise with Purpose Co. On this channel, I talk about topics such as etiquette, elegance, and vintage stylings, the Etiquette Series as well. I talk about writing and poetry, and I talk about the Faith series. So if you are interested in any of those topics, I encourage you to subscribe below and then make sure your post notification bell is on so you never miss on a video from my channel. Today I want to talk about phone calls and thank you notes. This is very much so a part of etiquette because it's just nice to receive a phone call, a letter, a thank you note when you've gone to an event, when you receive a gift, when you're invited out somewhere, when you go to someone's house, and just sending them a little thank you or making a phone call in advance just to let them know when you're going to be there, to RSVP, etc. So let's go ahead and dive into the phone calls. In our generation, there is just this huge, awful stigma of the anxiety behind making a phone call. I understand people actually do have phone anxiety, that's a thing, but just how lazy we've gotten with asking someone on a date or asking to hang out with friends or planning certain events and hangouts. People are just so quick to send a text, hey, do you want to do this, or I'm inviting you to this, instead of sending an actual invitation or making a phone call. So when it comes to dating etiquette, I think it's really respectful to call the person that you want to go on a date with. You know, it doesn't take very much. Hi. Yes, this is Andrea. How are you today? Good. Okay. Side note, typically the woman would not ask the guy out, but sometimes it happens. Am I speaking to Phil? Hi, Phil. Glad you're doing well. I was calling in regards to asking you if you're available on February 14th to go out. I had an idea to take you to dinner. What is your availability? It's not that hard. Although, like I said, some people have phone anxiety. Making a phone call out of respect, asking for the availability, and doing it ahead of time is very respectful. Now let's talk about the phone call that you make when you are thanking someone for their time, thanking someone for a gift, and when to do it. Hi there, this is Andrea, your granddaughter. I just wanted to thank you so much for sending over the lovely card and the gift. It meant so much. I just received it and I wanted to make sure that I called you in enough time to thank you. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. My grandmother, she wasn't available, so I had to leave a message. Of course, I'm being a little bit silly here, but truly, making a phone call to someone to thank them or to invite them out really does show respect and respect for their time, and it gives them enough time to check their calendar and see when their availability is. Make that phone call next time instead of sending a text. The next thing I want to talk about are sending thank you notes and letters. I do believe that a lot of people are just staying away from paper and trying to save the earth, etc. I understand that. But when it comes to using paper to send notes and thank yous and letters, paper is recyclable. So that person can reuse that for something else. I personally, in my small business, I do sell stationery, journals, thank you notes, greeting cards, etc. So I will talk about that at the end of the video. But let's talk about when you send a thank you note or a thank you letter to someone. It is always such a nice thing to randomly receive something in the mail, right? You always check your mailbox, your front step for packages, for letters, maybe for your check. So it's kind of nice to receive something that you weren't expecting. It's also really nice for the other person because they may not have expected that you would send them a thank you. It's like a nice little follow-up. So when it comes to sending a thank you note, it can just be a blank card that you write on yourself and you write your own thank you. You can get yourself a greeting card that actually says like a little poem or a thank you on it. I'll put some of my own on the screen. And there's just the act of sending out an invitation to someone. So say that you're inviting someone to a dinner or to a cocktail party or even to your wedding. It's really respectful and it's a really nice thing to receive. To receive a handwritten or just a tangible letter in the mail or an RSVP. And it's a really nice thing. I feel like that art is kind of gone and it makes me a little bit sad. But it's really nice, especially if it's handwritten. If you've ever purchased anything from my shop, you'll always receive a handwritten thank you note from me just because It's not only really nice to personalize things, but it's also really nice to address the person by their name and to sincerely give them a nice thank you. It doesn't take very much. You can just say, thank you so much for the wonderful invitation. I will be accepting RSVPing, or I'm so sorry I will not be accepting, but thank you for the invitation. Thank you for the invite. Sign your name, sign the family, sign whoever was invited, and send that off. It's really not that difficult, and it really is a nice gesture to do. Some of the books that I wanted to share that I'm currently reading also do include the Emily Post Etiquette book. I always share that on each etiquette video. I will have it linked below, and I'll put an image of it on the screen somewhere. But I also have been reading some other books and just checking them out to get inspiration for myself, for my small business, and just for my everyday life. So let me show you those books. The first one is How to Live Like a Lady and just have ladylike behavior, lessons in life, manners, and style. Since that is something I talk a lot about on my channel, that is what I'm interested in, and a lot of my viewers are very interested in those topics as well. So this also can gear towards men because, like I said, to call someone to go on a date or to hang out, it just shows proper etiquette and manners as well as respect. So that is what I'm also reading. The other book I'm reading is called Handmade Gift Cards. And again, I do have a stationery business, my writing and poetry business, aside from this YouTube channel. If you're interested in supporting my business, it will be linked in the description box below. Go ahead and check that out. I would really, really appreciate it. But this really helps me get inspiration for making more handmade cards and making things that are more personalized for my customers and for people that are interested in using greeting cards and thank you notes. So getting inspired by books, it's really old-fashioned and traditional, but there's really nothing wrong with doing that. It sets you aside, it sets you apart to be unique and to do something that people aren't going to expect. Making that phone call, sending a note or a letter, people aren't going to expect that because it's really not done as much anymore, but people will remember you for that and it'll make them feel really good. I also wanted to add that when it comes to my own greeting cards and the things that I create for Poise with Purpose Co., the writing is all original, all written by myself. So if you are feeling kind of strange about writing a note to someone and you don't know what to say, I just encourage you to purchase a greeting card, a poetry card, a thank you note that has something already written in it, and send that off. Of course, make sure that you sign your name and say an extra thank you there for that. But all of the things that I write in my cards are written by me. They are all original. So if you're interested in my poetry, then I encourage you to check out my Etsy shop. It will be linked below as well. Thank you so much for joining me on this video. I hope that you enjoyed, and keep your post notification bell on. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye-bye.